The Atlantic League champion York Revolution is on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Onto the track, it is gone! It's gone!
Revs Baseball on WOYK is brought to you by PeoplesBank, WellSpan Sports Medicine, Shipley Energy, Maple Donuts, Broadway Transmission, Flying Feet, Dasher Investment Services, York Mitsubishi, Kochman Kunkel Insurance Group, Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, Rudders, Pennsylvania Lottery, Neighborhood Sure Save Markets, PSECU, Kona Ice, Smith, Mayer and Little, York County Bar Association, and by Downtown Inc.
Swinging a ground ball, rolled to short, Dent's got it, throws, it's over! And the York Revolution are 2017 Atlantic League champions!
Now with the call of today's game, here's the voice of the Atlantic League champion York Revolution, Daryl Henry.
Good evening, everyone, from PeoplesBank Park here in downtown York. Welcome to game number 86 of York Revolution Baseball. Tonight, the start of a 6-game homestand. And man, is it great to be back. Revs hosting the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, first of 3 here this weekend. And as we hit the air here tonight, it's kind of like a 2-time zone doubleheader. I'm not sure if any of the guys really slept, except for maybe a couple of hours in the air, maybe an hour on the bus back earlier today. But coming off really a horrible finish to the series at Sugar Land. They went just 2-5 in Texas. Daryl Henry along with Michael Mark Antonini, by the way. But we come to you with outstanding news here on this Friday night, and you may have heard the term of a Friday news dump in public relations. This is not that. Put this up in the brightest of lights, as Telvin Nash and Alonzo Harris have both been re-signed by the Revs on this day. They are both active tonight. Nash is in the starting lineup. And Michael, coming off a tough series to Texas, I cannot think of 2 bigger names in recent years for the Revs to reacquire. A couple of years ago, we announced the all-decade team for the first 10 years, and these guys already, I think, would have to be on the all-decade team for the second decade in Revs history, which is only a couple of years old.
Yeah, pretty impressive to get them back on the same day, a date that could end up living on in infamy in Revs baseball. So it's pretty cool to get 2 big key pieces from that championship team last year back, and like you said, probably not any bigger names than those 2 coming back. It's great to see them here in the clubhouse, you know, already gelling with the guys that they know, meeting the new guys, and it's going to be exciting. This lineup is pretty lethal. I think you stack it up with any other team in the league, and you know, you can say it may be the best from 1 to 9 with what they can roll out there, with the way that certain guys are hitting right now, the guys that are there, and now bringing in these 2. It's going to be fun, and there's still a lot of baseball left to be played. The Revs are scuffling a little bit. Only the second time this year they've fallen a game below 500, but like I said, a lot of baseball left, and things can change quickly, especially in this league.
Great to be back with you, by the way.
Yeah, it's been a while.
On a day like this.
I'm well rested. You're not, but
well, hopefully that balances out. But there were 8 moves today. There were a couple of goings, unfortunately. Josh Blanco was released, and tough to say so long to a guy that helped them win the championship last year. But Luke Westfall also released earlier today. He had been struggling of late, and I think he knew he wasn't throwing the ball as well as he had been either, with based on his conversation with Mace relaying some of that to us, which you'll hear coming up. But Mike McGee reactivated as right now the only lefty in the bullpen. Revs did deactivate Jonathan Sanchez and Logan Williamson just to make roster room. And obviously Nash and Harris signed. And also right-hand pitcher Carl Bryce is signed. He had been in the Empire League earlier this year, and a high-velocity guy, and he'll be available in the bullpen tonight as well. So a heck of a lot going on. And Michael, the Revs 10-12 in the second half. They've dropped 3 straight for the first time since the beginning of July, but 5.5 back in the division. Right now they're closer in the wild card race. They're 6 back of the first wild card spot, but 3 back of a potential second wild card spot. That involves teams that they are going to be playing a head-to-head. They won't get a chance head-to-head against Sugar Land the rest of the way, but they will against all of these other teams that they could potentially be competing against. And still 41 games to go, and when you add some all-time greats in Revs history, both on the same day, there still is a real chance to make a run at this thing in 2018.
There really is, and maybe Sugar Land runs away with the second half again and they win both halves. That would open up one wild card spot. Maybe Somerset wins the second half in the Liberty Division. Then there would be 2 in play, and you mentioned only 3 spots behind that second wild card spot. And with the additions that Mason and the rest of the organization have made over the last couple days, and maybe some more changes to come, and just a couple more wins to come for this Revs team, there's a lot of possibilities, and you have to feel confident going in against Southern Maryland. The Revs have won 7 of 11 against the Crabs this year, and they've taken care of business here at home specifically against them. And then New Britain for 3 after, so that's going to be a huge series. 2 teams vying for a playoff spot, and you'd love to sweep it and just kind of take care of business in one series at home and separate yourself from the pack. But Revs, 2 out of 3 from each of these 2 home series, take 4 out of 6 on the homestand would be pretty big.
Blue Crabs 8-13 in the second half coming in tonight. And as far as our matchup this evening goes, it'll be Dominic Severino making the start for the Revs, 4-6, 4.96 ERA. Left-hander Drake Britton goes for the Skeeters. He's for the Blue Crabs. He is 4-5.
Too many games in Sugar Land.
Oh my goodness, no kidding. 4-5 with a 6.23 ERA is Britton. Coming up on our pregame, we have as Nash is introduced in the starting lineup for the first time this season. I know a lot of fans hearing that news today, excited about that. We'll have a little bit of an extended conversation with Mace based on these roster moves today, so we'll get right to the Broadway Transmission Manager's report coming up. First pitch tonight is set for 6:30. You're back home in York on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Daly Anstein is a personal injury law firm that specializes in auto and motorcycle accidents, workers' compensation, and personal injury cases. Anstein has been proudly protecting the injured in Central PA for more than 40 years and is proud to support the York Revolution. At Dale E. Anstein, consultations are always free and there is no fee unless they win the case for you. To learn more about Dale E. Anstein, or if you're in need of representation, go to AnsteinLaw.com. That's ANSTINE Law.com.
We are your auto loan experts. Hello, I'm Sue DeStefano, President and CEO of First Capital Federal Credit Union. With terms you can trust and competitive rates as low as 2.49% APR, First Capital is the first place to go when you're looking for an auto loan. At First Capital, you're a member, not just a number. You can apply for your loan online at firstcapitalfcu.com or stop by any of our branches. First Capital, putting you first. Federally insured by NCUA.
First Capital Federal Credit Union.
Need to get some cash? No problem. Head to Royal Farms, step up to the ATM, and
get your cash for nothing, cause there is no fee.
Yep, that's the way we do it at Royal Farms. Some retailers charge to use their ATMs. We don't. Our ATMs are surcharge free, so you can always get
cash for nothing, cause there is no fee.
Anytime at all Royal Farms ATMs.
A bank or credit card fee may apply.
You'll always hit it out of the park with great Best Yet products from your neighborhood SureSave stores. Like party platters with $18.93 deli items. Team up Best Yet hot dogs with Best Yet kettle cooked chips. And get Best Yet 12 packs of soda and Best Yet Rising Crust pizzas at Saubles Markets in Shrewsbury, Stewartstown, Whiteford, and East York. And at Nell's Market Fresh Foods in Spry.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Fans, it's time to go inside the clubhouse for all the latest on your Atlantic League champion York Revolution and tonight's matchup. It's time for the Broadway Transmission Manager's Report. Now, here's the manager of the Revs, Mark Mason.
All right, Mace, we'll come back off a rather difficult road trip, but you dropped a little bombshell of news today with a couple of the additions and a couple of guys that have really dropped some bombs in your lineup in the past, with Talvin Nash and Alonzo Harris coming back. This one was kept under wraps pretty good, and you're already hearing from a lot of the fans that are excited about this.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of buzz out there. I've gotten a good many emails here, with people excited about what they see in the transaction report and everything. So, we're actually going to get Talvin into the lineup tonight. Harris will get in there tomorrow. He just got in actually like maybe 25 minutes ago, and he's been traveling since 1 in the morning. So we're going to give him the day off, but that doesn't mean we won't use him as a pinch runner or a pinch hitter or whatever at some point in the game. But yeah, so I mean, that's 2 big additions for us. 2 guys that were a big part of the success that we had here last year, and so we're really thrilled to have them back and stick those guys in a lineup that I actually think hitting wise might have been a little bit stronger than what we had last year in some ways. Last year we had Lexi left at one point, and we didn't have Melky, who's been a terrific hitter for us all summer, and Dotel. So we're excited about the possibilities that we have, moving forward with what we can do with the lineup.
And you also add a young pitcher to the bullpen with Carl Bryce being brought in, and I guess Fletch actually had a chance to see him work maybe a week ago or so. What are the reports on him? No, I mean, Fletch liked him a lot, and he won't be hard to miss because he's a gigantic guy. He'll be easily spotted out there. But Fletch said a lot of good downhill angle, good fastball, good movement, good velocity. A couple good second pitches that he thought were good, and a guy that he's been starting, and he can eat up some innings, and so we're going to bring him in, and somebody to throw strikes and will compete. So that's what we want. On the flip side, I had to say so long to a couple of guys, and Josh Blanco, one of those guys, wasn't here long, but Luke Westfall had been here since the start of last year. That had to be a tough one, I'm sure. What led you to that decision with Luke?
Well, I mean, it's hard when you have to make decisions where you're affecting your roster, and you have to make some moves on some guys that have been with you for a while, and guys that you've gotten to know personally, being around the clubhouse and things like that. But sometimes it's availability, it's just the results sometimes, or it can be a bunch of different things. But I think for Luke right now, after being here as long as he's been, maybe a change of scenery would be good for him. And it's just hard to put your finger on it sometimes with what a guy might need. But I think that we both were in agreement to some degree that that it kind of had to be done. I think he was kind of on board with it a little bit, as much as people can be when you do releases and stuff like that. So I wished him the best. He's been he's been a good teammate, and he's been a good guy for me to coach too. So it's been it's been fun, but it's like everything, things change every once in a while. So we just wish him the best.
The series at Sugarland, how do you sum up a really difficult end to a difficult road trip, but especially the last 3 seem to be some of the common causes of defeat, I guess, reoccurring? Yeah, well, I mean, for me to sum up that series, it would be just one word. It would be miserable. I mean, that's just, I'm not going to pull any punches. I mean, it was a miserable series. We shot ourselves in the foot, whether pitching or defensively. Surprisingly, I think we out-hit them overall in the series. I think they may have had more extra base hits than we did, but I mean, there were some games there where we were giving up, crooked numbers in an inning, and they were only getting 1 hit or maybe 2 hits. And in that ballpark, when you give up a 4 or 5 spot in one inning, I mean, it's sometimes it's tough to score 4 or 5 runs down there in 9 innings. So you're, the one night we had the game and we gave it up, and then we came back and ended up winning that one. But, other than the first night down there when Logan threw, and I think we won a 3-1, 4-1 game, whatever it was, and then the night we came back, we had one inning in the other 5 games where we could not overcome it, and we had runners in scoring position a lot, and we didn't get timely hitting. They seemed to get all kind of timely hitting, and we were putting guys on base for free. We were walking guys, we were hitting guys, and it was just frustrating. It was, and that was a series where you want to go down there and you at least want to try to be 3-4, 4-3. You don't want to have a losing record down there, but I mean, that's a tough place to play, and their record bears that out. I mean, they're like 40-10 in their own ballpark, so there's really nobody beating them down there, and the fact that we beat them twice in a week, that might have been the most losses they've had in a week against any team in the league. So I just think the frustrating part was that we had an opportunity to win every single night, and we just let it get away in one inning every game, and that's why we ended up with the 5 losses. But that's a credit to them. I mean, they're a good team. They have the best record in the league. They lead the league in hitting. They lead the league in pitching. So I mean, there's a reason why they're tough to beat, and we learned the hard way, unfortunately, in a couple of those games.
A lot of focus was on a turning point last night, that play at the plate where they broke the tie. What was your view from the dugout? How gray of an area was that as far as legal or illegal?
It was hard. It was hard. The throw beat Hawkins by a lot. It did. It beat him by a lot. He didn't come in head first. He didn't come in like trying to, bulldoze anybody over. He came in feet first with a slide. I couldn't tell if he really changed, if he really changed direction to try to go after Cruz or not. It didn't look like it to me. But he did go in with his hands up and basically slapping, or swinging, whatever term you want to use there, at the mitt to try to knock the ball loose. So, and he ended up being successful doing it. And my question to the umpire was, I thought, did he try to make contact, which you're not allowed to do that anymore. The only way you can do that would be if the catcher does not have the ball and he's blocking the plate. Then you can wipe him out because he's not supposed to be there. But once the catcher has the ball, it's trying to go in and force the ball out of there is something that that could be ruled an out. But the umpire felt the slide was clean. He didn't change directions to go after him, and he really didn't think that the hands being up in the air caused him to lose the ball. So, that was the explanation I got. And, and then unfortunately after that, we walked the guy, and then we gave up a double down the line with 2 outs. And, so you could have been out of the inning right there if we make a play. And I'm not bashing Lou or Logan or anybody. I mean, it's just a small sampling of the way the series went. And, when we can't get off the field, they capitalized on it every single time. And last night was one of those.
Last thing for you, you get back home, put that series behind you, 41 games left in the regular season, and 2 big additions today. How do you and the staff and these guys look at your chances with still that many games to go?
Well, we think we have a great chance. The unfortunate thing is we're done with the Skeeters head-to-head, and I know maybe some people would say you're probably lucky you're done with them head-to-head. But, you want to play teams that you're chasing, head-to-head. At least you give yourself an opportunity to pick up ground that way. So we know we don't have that chance anymore, but we also know we have a lot of games left against teams that are fighting for a wild card. And the way this season is panning out right now, it's very conceivable that Somerset and Sugar Land would win the half again. I mean, they're both in first place right now, so if that happens, then 2 of 4 teams are going to get into this playoff hunt, And, we have a lot of games left against Long Island, New Britain, and we have 4 games left with the Barnstormers. So a lot of baseball left to play, and we need to pick it up, and really we need to start winning every series here for a while and then see where that puts us in the standings.
All right, Mace, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Revs manager Mark Mason on the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. As you heard, a lot going on today, and the Revs now getting set for this homestand opener against the Blue Crabs tonight. There are some showers, maybe storms in the area. Looking at the radar, hoping that those miss us. The tarp crew is ready, but we're going to move forward with the Revs taking the field here and looking to get this thing started on time tonight. They did already postpone the Boy Scout night and the Scout sleepover again. It is now going to be Friday, August 24th, 3 weeks from now. So that's the second time that they've had to do that, unfortunately. Another weekend, another weather situation here. Tomorrow looks beautiful, but at any rate, Revs have taken the field. Let's listen in on our national anthem tonight.
Fans, please rise, remove all cover, and welcome Alexandra Coughlin for the performance of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very nice job, Alex Kaufman, with our national anthem here tonight as the Revs and Blue Crabs get set to go. Another gray night, but hopefully the potential weather issues avoid us. York this summer has seemingly become the new Seattle or London or something of that nature. It's been unbelievable. But tomorrow does look beautiful. Sunday the same, and hopefully tonight we can get this in without interruption. Dominic Severino in his warm-ups. The Blue Crabs lineup tonight brought to you by Flying Feet. Teodoro Martinez is in right field leading off. Edwin Garcia, shortstop, batting second. Frank Martinez, all-star selection. He's at third base, hitting third. John Griffin will do the DHing and bat cleanup. Angeles Nina in left field hits fifth. Angelo Sonko at first base, batting sixth. Corey Vaughn will play center and hit seventh. Craig Maddox does the catching and hits eighth. Francisco Rosario is at second base, batting ninth. Again, Martinez, Garcia, Martinez, Griffin, Nina, Sonko, Vaughn, Maddox, and Rosario for the Blue Crabs. That lineup facing Severino, who's 4-6, 4.96 ERA, 16 outings, 15 starts. 74 and a third innings, 87 hits. He'll give up some hits, but low walk totals, 17 in his 16 outings, 39 strikeouts. And he's had pretty good success against the Blue Crabs this year. 3 starts against Southern Maryland, no record, but a 2.25 ERA. And dominated a couple of starts at their place, but Leeds happened to get away late in those games, and thus the no decisions against them. But we're set to go as Teodoro Martinez leads things off. Revs are in the black jerseys tonight, and Southern Maryland is in blue camouflage. And they also have a red camo top that we've seen them wear this year. Tonight it's the blue. And our Dasher Investment Services first pitch is just moments away. A slight breeze left to right tonight. Here it comes. First pitch is right there for a called strike. We are underway. First pitch thrown tonight at 6:35 at stadium time. 82 degrees, cloudy, some threatening skies. Weather brought to you by Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Here's the 0-1. And a swing on a well-hit ball to left center. It's deep. Mesa is back, breaks off the route, and it lands on the base of the wall. Rebounds to Dotel, who gets the start in center tonight. He'll toss into third. Teodoro Martinez stands at second with a double. And that wind left to right might have kept that ball in the park. Off the bat, it looked like it was going to go. I think Mesa thought it was going to go. It ended up at the base of the wall. I'm not sure he would have been able to catch it anyway, but it's a leadoff double to start the night.
I thought it was going off the bat. We've seen the ball travel pretty well out to left center recently in this park, and luckily for the Revs, that just hit the wall harmlessly and works for a double. And right now, Sev will just have to try to work around it, but he'd much rather try to work around a leadoff double than have his team already be down 1-0.
And here is Edwin Garcia, who's hitting at 281. He's been on a good stretch of late. First pitch. Oh, almost hit him. I didn't think he'd be able to avoid that when it left the hand in near the ribs. Garcia, 2 home runs, 24 driven in. Last 9 games hitting .333. There is a slight break in the cloud layer right above the field. A little bit of sunshine trying to poke its way through. Severino with the 1-0. Swinging a foul over the first base roof. Our plate ump tonight is Brian DeBrouwer. Jorge Teran at first, Silvio Martinez at third. The Revs defense behind Severino, a little different tonight. Couple guys getting a night off with the long travel day. And of course that stud that's back in the lineup at first base. Here's the stretch. And now the 1-1. It is slice foul the other way and into the front row of the picnic seating in right. It's Mesa in left, Dotel in center, Mitchell in right. The infield with Cuevas at third, Dent at short, Henry Castillo at second. Alexi is DHing tonight, and the big fella Nash is in there at first. Cruz is behind the plate. Severino ahead of Garcia. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's ready. Working from the first base side of the rubber. And the pitch, swinging a foul back over the roof again. A change up, it looked like. Severino made 1 start in Texas. It was on Saturday night, game 2 of that series. 5 innings, 4 runs, suffered the loss. The pitch count was high. It was maybe his biggest struggle was deep counts, a lot of base runners. The previous start, he went 5 scoreless against Sugar Land with only 2 hits given up. So each of his last 2 starts came against the Skeeters. The pitch, and it's lined the other way. Base hit out toward right center. Mitchell head over to cut it off, but Martinez around third to score. Throw into second, keeps Garcia at first. But it's an RBI single. And 2 batters in, the Blue Crabs have a 1-0 lead.
Not the start the Revs wanted coming off that long, tough road trip, but the approach from Garcia was right center the whole way there. It looked like he was trying to go that way, fouled a couple balls off on that side of the field, and then eventually made some good contact. 2 hard hit balls off Severino, just leaving some hittable pitches out over the plate.
Now here is Frank Martinez. Switch hitter bats left. First pitch, fastball, just missed, maybe a little low. Martinez 10th in the league in hitting, 307. 4 home runs. He has hit 350 against York. Severino comes set. Now the 1-0. And a bouncer right side. That's going to find the hole right between first and second. Garcia up to second. He'll stop there. 3 straight hits for the Blue Crabs to start the night. It's first and second. Still no outs.
Now that one not as hard hit as the first 2, and that just finds a hole over there. Now that's a ball easily. Could have been a double play ball if it's a few feet one way or the other. But it works out as a single, and in net. Now it just comes down to trying to keep the ball low in the zone with these Blue Crabs aggressive in the count. Try to get them to roll over on a couple and may get a double play in here.
Here is John Griffin, the DH. Only his 33rd game played. He had an upper body injury. First pitch, breaking ball, that's over for a strike. He's hitting .281, 7 home runs in those 32 games. Here's some musica outside the stadium. It is First Friday Latino this month, presented by Downtown Inc. Here's the 0-1, and it misses in off the plate, a fastball. Revs have dropped 3 straight coming in, trying to end that tonight. First 3-game skid since the beginning of July. 2 of those 3 were against Sugar Land, and they are now somebody else's problem. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball and ripped into left. That's a hit. Garcia to third. They will stop him as Mesa guns it toward the plate. Bases loaded, nobody out. Dent was toward the middle at double play depth, and Griffin, who does like to get the arms extended and go the other way, this time pulls it, and he finds the hole.
Again, another hittable pitch, and Dent easily, if he's positioned a little bit more to his right, he fields that ball, and they get at least 1 out on it. But finding the holes, that's what Southern Maryland's doing right now. The first 2 were easily knocks, but in these past 2, just hitting them where they ain't. And now you got to hope for a double play ball or something.
Angeles Nina grounds one deep short. Dent sprawls out, throws to third from the ground. What a great play. A run scores. It is the first out of the night, though. And it's now a 2-0 Southern Maryland lead, but a first out that they desperately needed. And Dent, a great play, full out dive to his right, and from the ground throwing to third for the force.
That's a heck of a play. And we've seen Dent be able to do that, dive to his right and then throw to third without really getting up and still make an accurate throw, and he did it right there. They needed that. And now you still keep the double play in order. Another run does come in to score, but there's nobody on third base, and that's important. It's a lot better first and second than first and third or second and third, and Dent really helping out his pitcher right there.
Here is Angeles Sonko. First pitch, he chops it toward the middle. Dent at short, knocks it down, lays out, trying to get a grasp on it, and it trickles into shallow center. And Griffin, who was at third, he will come in to score. And now it's 3-0. There was a chance at 2 there, but Dent had to range to his left, kind of an in-between high hop, and unable to grab it cleanly. Had he, there was a chance to turn 2, but it bounced off, and then he was kind of swimming in the grass, trying to reach it and keep it in the infield, and it just slipped away from him into center.
That's a good visit from Fletch right here. And the only out that Severino's had is a hard hit ground ball that easily could have been a single through the hole. Southern Maryland's been aggressive early. They're squaring up these pitches from Sev. Velocity doesn't look like it's up really. Maybe down a tad if anything, and just a breather for Severino. That's what he needs right now, but almost a spectacular play by Dent. It looked like he slipped out there in shallow center. Now I don't know if that's got anything to do with field conditions or what, but it's a ball where normally when he's up the middle and gets a glove on it, he's able to keep it in front, but he just didn't get the footing there.
Yeah, even with the team away, field has taken a beating with the amount of rain, the amount of time that the tarp has had to be on it has unfortunately hurt the grass. Here's Corey Vaughn. First pitch from Severino, catches the inside corner for a strike after the visit.
Well, there's definitely been more tarp than grass visible over the last week or so. It just never stops, it seems like.
Hopefully we're due for that worm to turn. Here's the stretch, the 0-1, and in the dirt, Cruz collapses on it. Revs have been hurt by the big inning, and in Sugarland, each of the last 5 games in that series, the Skeeters scored 4 or more in 1 inning. And they did it in the 6th or 7th each of those nights. Here's the 1-1, and a swing and a foul back upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Revs trying to break out of a funk on which they've dropped 5 out of 6 as well. And that is the second time that that's happened this season. The other time was back in mid-June. Down 3-0 in the first tonight. Here's the stretch from Severino. And he steps off.
The location's been a big issue in the inning. The last pitch before the step-off, Luis Cruz set up low and away, and the pitch was high. Luckily, it was fouled off, but location has been maybe the biggest issue.
Now ready. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, missed high.
And there it is again, and another low and away setup from Luis, and he wanted that one really low, but Sev, it could just be not finishing on that release or really not getting his whole body into it coming forward.
On the stretch. And eyes up Cruz target. Pitch is just below it. And it is now 3-2.
And that's better. You want to miss down if you're going to miss. And Luis, at that point, got down on a knee and even lower with the target. And if that's what it takes for Sev to get the ball down, that's what Luis is going to have to do.
Now ready. Payoff pitch. Runners go. And it clipped Vaughn. Missed inside. Got a piece of the jersey. And a hit by pitch loads the bases. The Revs are actually going to call for some quick bullpen activity as Michael Click will start to throw, it looks like.
Doesn't look like it's going to be a long outing for Severino tonight. Just not sharp, and it's not easy having to be the guy to take the bump back home after a 7-game road trip, long flight, just a long day of travel overall.
Yeah, the starter is always the guy I think of on those days. Here's Craig Maddox. He swings and lines one into left center for a hit. That'll score 2. Vaughn is on his way from first to third. Maddox stops with a single. Drives in 2 runs, and the Blue Crabs have put up 5 in the first inning tonight. 5-0. First and third, still 1 out. That is their 6th hit from the first 8 hitters.
This is a Blue Crabs team that's capable of the big inning. The Revs have seen it happen against them. It's a team that won't quit, and this is a case of just jumping out in front early. And I like I previously mentioned, with the whole travel situation the Revs have dealt with, Southern Maryland taking advantage of that early. And it's no excuses for the Revs to be in this situation down 5-0 already, but you got to feel that this wasn't going to be one of their sharper games, guys are just dead tired.
Here's Francisco Rosario. He fans on the first one.
Well, the good thing about it is it's only the top of the first inning. The Revs still get 9 opportunities to bat, and we've seen them erase a 5-run lead like it's nothing.
Severino ready. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good sink on that one. It is the 6th straight game that an opponent has scored 4 or more in an inning, but it is indeed early. Rosario hitting 197. This is the first time on that stretch it's happened early. And now the 0-2. It is in the dirt. Cruz down on top of it. It is the biggest first inning that they've been victimized by since June 24th at home. Sugarland scored 6 in the first when Matt Vogel was getting a look-see in his only appearance. The 1-2, and it's fouled back against the netting.
That was a brutal Sunday afternoon, just a long game. It wasn't just that first inning that was long. There might have been 4 or 5 that just kept going.
I think that was in the thick of our heat wave, too.
Yep.
Rosario, the K-man tonight. Severino ready. And the pitch home, it is up high.
I mean, I'll take the heat wave over all the rain we've had any day.
Dom, in his first outing against the Blue Crabs this year, was really sick. He went 4 innings, 2 runs. The last 2, he combined for just 1 run in 12 innings. They've gotten to him early tonight, though. Pitch is poked on the ground at short. Dent to his right. Slow roller. Goes to second. Turn to first. Won't be in time. And Rosario picks up the RBI. He hit it slowly enough to bring home Vaughn from third and not let them turn 2. 6-4 on the lead out at second. And a 6-run first inning for Southern Maryland. Back to the top, and Teodoro Martinez, who started it with a double. It was the 5th RBI of the year for Rosario. And there have been probably 3 ground balls this inning where you're hoping maybe that could be a twin killing, but just haven't quite been tailor-made. First pitch is a slider and a called strike, inside edge.
Well, at this point, Dom's going to have to help out the bullpen and at least get through this first. But luckily, only needed 1 inning out of the pen last night in Sugar Land. That helps moving forward.
Now he's ready. Here's the 0-1. It misses down and away. It has been a very turbulent season for Dom, who had probably the worst illness of anybody on the team when it was going around early. Lost a bunch of weight. Then he had the rib manipulation that was successful, but just doesn't sound pleasant. It's the pitch, and it's served into right field. That's going to get in. Martinez 2 for 2 in the first inning. Rosario stops at second, and the Blue Crabs have their 7th hit here in the first inning. And here comes Mace. He is going to go to Michael Click. After 30 pitches from Severino, he gets 2 outs, but unfortunately it will be an early departure tonight. A pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts here in the top of the first inning. Not the way the Revs wanted to get off the jet and return home earlier today. A 6-0 Southern Maryland lead, and Click will likely be in for a while. We'll tell you about Michael when we come back. First and second, 2 outs in the first. Again, pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts.
Are you one of the many people that has a 401k that is eligible to roll over, but you just haven't done it yet? Maybe you're not sure where was the best place to put it. I'm Tom Dasher of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in helping you getting your 401k and IRA money parked in the best place for you. So if you haven't rolled your 401k yet, or if you're not satisfied with your IRA, call me for a consultation at 487-2096. That's 487-2096. And check out my website at tomdasher.com.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
There's a lot of talk out there about good health care. We all want a good plan. But step outside and take a good look at all those beautiful trees and shrubs in your yard. Do you have a plan to maintain their good health? Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care has a veteran staff of 12 fully licensed and trained tree health care professionals to rely on, including 10 certified arborists and 3 PA certified horticulturalists. So don't let your trees and shrubs fend for themselves against Mother Nature. Visit heritagelawnandlandscape.com and get world-class care right in your backyard.
The Revolution plays here. Play ball! The new Sports Radio 1350.
Michael Click comes on early tonight. Last outing for him. He made the spot start in Sugar Land on Monday, and he was terrific. 4 innings, 1 run, a run that shouldn't have scored, but there was a botched umpire's call. And if not for that and a couple of other things, he probably could have given them at least 5 innings. I know he wanted to go like 6, but they had to be happy with what he did. They were. He went 4, giving up 1. Was starting in Germany. We do still have part 2 of that interview with him set for one of these nights on this homestand. Today we had a bevy of roster moves to discuss on pregame, but Click is in. First and second, 2 outs, 6-0 Southern Maryland. Here's Click's first pitch, and it's a fastball poured across for a strike on Edwin Garcia, who had an RBI single to right earlier this inning. 7 hits for the Blue Crabs. The other base runner coming on a hit batter. Severino, 30 pitches, 20 strikes. There is a break in the clouds straight overhead. Blue skies. Gray in the distance, though. The 0-1. And it's swung on, fouled back. Almost claimed a bird on top of the netting. It's 0-2. They just never learn that they're in danger there.
No, never do.
Randy Johnson taught one. Poor thing never got a chance to make an adjustment. Spring training game, it flew right in front of a Randy Johnson fastball and it exploded on the field.
And you just can't try to do that.
No, it's not a good idea. Click ready, the 0-2, and it just missed away. Man, he was marching off toward the dugout, thought the inning was over right there.
That was a good pitch, and you know, to me, where we are in the booth, that's right there on the outside corner, and maybe it's just a tad off the plate, but it's sweeping across, and you'd think Click might get the benefit of the doubt there.
Alas, he does not. He's ready. Now the 1-2. And a liner to right field. Mitchell tiptoes to his right. This one hangs up for him. Catch is made to end the inning. But the Blue Crabs come out with 6 in the first, 7 hits, 2 men left. We played a half inning tonight. It's the Blue Crabs 6 and the Revs coming up.
You line your feet up on the edge of the starting block, shake out your arms, and then you push off the block in one fluid motion, fully extending your body and cutting into the water with nothing on your mind but the mechanics. You're a swimmer, and whether it's practice time in the pool or crunch time at a meet, Flying Feet is with you every stroke of the way.
Flying Feet.
Flying Feet Sports Shoes is a swimmer's paradise. Get suits by Dolphin, Speedo, Nike, Arena, and Tier. Pick up practice gear, team gear, and training equipment like fins, snorkels, and kickboards. The Flying Feet team has high-tech competitive suits, customizable caps, goggles, even goggle repair items. Shower down with swimmer shampoo and body wash, plus suit wash to limit the wear and tear of chlorine. Time to dive into the pool? Then it's time for Flying Feet. We're more than sports shoes.
Flying Feet.
1511 Mount Rose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83 next to Battery Warehouse.
Show your patriotism and Revs spirit with the new York Revolution Hat Pack. Get 6 undated ticket vouchers to use any way you'd like and 2 parking passes, plus an exclusive Revolution hat featuring the Revs logo in red, white, and blue. It's an exclusive design from York's own Legacy Athletic and one you can only get through this special offer. The Revs Hat Pack, 6 game ticket vouchers, 2 parking passes, and an exclusive Revolution baseball cap, all for just $75. Get yours while supplies last at YorkRevolution.com or 717-801-HITS.
The Baltimore Baseball Show with Dan Connolly, right here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK, York.
Revs down 6-0 as they come to bat here in the home half of the first inning. Lineup is brought to you by Flying Feet. Jared Mitchell in right field will lead it off. Alexi Casilla gets off his feet defensively tonight. He's DHing and batting second. Melky Mesa is in left field and batting third. Telvin Nash is back in the cleanup spot and playing at first base. Wellington Dotel, the center fielder, hits fifth. Luis Cruz will catch and bat sixth. And the rest in a moment. Here's Britton's first. It is a fastball low and away. Ryan Dennett short, batting seventh. Henry Castillo, the second baseman, hitting eighth. Jose Cuevas at third base bats ninth. The 1-0 to Mitchell. And he swings, skies it to left field. Nina drifts in, waits, and gloves it. One away as Britton makes the start tonight for the Blue Crabs. The lefty 4-5, 623. Earned run average in 14 outings, 13 starts. 65 innings, 69 hits, 21 walks, 39 Ks. Against York, 0-2 with a 7.80 ERA in 3 starts. The Revs have hit .359 against him. First one to Alexi is down and in. Casilla had a good series in Sugarland. In fact, over the last 5 games as a team, despite losing 4 of those 5, pitch is over for a strike. The Revs have hit .306, double-digit hits in all 5, but only 18 runs, fewer than 4 per game. There's the 1-1, swing and a foul back. They out-hit the Skeeters in the majority of those, but lost the majority of those. Casilla 4th in the league in hitting entering the night, .329. Tied for 4th in hits with 94. Switch hitter bats right. And Britton kicks, delivers, and a liner the other way, base hit right field. As Casilla shoots it sharply through the right side, he's a 1-out runner.
Can't slow him down right now. He's been red hot, and it's both sides of the plate. He's one of those switch hitters that really doesn't lose anything, whether he's batting righty or lefty. Now every switch hitter has his more dominant side, but Alexi, you feel as confident righty as lefty with him, and he continues to hit the ball hard.
And now Melky Mesa, who's 6th in the league in hitting, .320. With 11 home runs, he's 3rd in slugging. I was given a stat to wrap up this Sugarland week. As Britton sets, stares at Alexi, snap throw over, he dives in. The Skeeters, in the final 3 games of a long home series, 6 or 7 games, in the final 3 games, they are 18-0 at home.
I mean, they're a good team, but not 18-0 good. A little bit of a home field advantage there.
Unbelievable. Pitch to Mesa, that's down low, ball 1.
Well, it's no doubt that the Skeeters at this point, I think it's safe to say that they are the best team in the Atlantic League this year. And it's not just their home record they've produced on the road as well, and we've seen it here, but I mean, to be 18-0 in the final 3 games of series at home, I mean, it's a huge advantage with that road team getting worn out.
And Britton sets, long stare at first, he'll throw over again. Skeeters, after winning last night, are now 39-11 at home. They also have a stat where they're like something like, I don't know, 42-3 when leading after 5 innings. 5. Now they're Lancaster's problem this weekend. Pitch to Mesa, he swings, fouls it back onto the roof. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Lancaster fell victim to that 7-game series down there.
And worse than we did.
Right, and yeah, you got to look at what the Revs did, and to split the first 4 was big time. And I'm sure Sugarland was a little bit surprised that the Revs were able to go down there and win on the day they traveled again, just as they did the last series. But the final 3, it just didn't work out in the Revs' favor.
On the stretch from Britton. Here's the 1-1. And a dribbler to short. Garcia to his right, unloads to second, and Rosario will hold it. That's all they get. Fielder's choice. And Mace is retired, and now returning to the batter's box at PeoplesBank Park. He's been named the RBI guy tonight. Telvin Nash returning for his 4th season here in York. 44 home runs in partial seasons with the Revs. On and off the roster. He joined the mid-2015. 2016 midway through, picked up by the White Sox. 44 home runs, which is 4th in Revs history. Next one will tie Scott Grimes for 3rd. And the first pitch, it is up and away. He looks trim. He looks slim, but he still looks very strong. He was training in Canada after a stint in the Mexican League this season. Last year's Championship Series co-MVP. He hit the clinching home run, hit 3 total in the playoffs. Here's the 1-0, and a fastball in for a strike as he eyes up a couple of pitches from Britton. He started the playoffs with a Game 1 extra inning walk-off home run against Southern Maryland, the 2nd playoff walk-off home run in Revs history. Bryant Nelson hit one against Lancaster back in 2011. Also in a Game 1, and the Revs went on to win it all that year too. There's the pitch to Nash. It is in tight, 2 balls and a strike. Plan is to, tomorrow night, get Alonzo Harris in there as well. He had been traveling since like 1 a.m. and they elected to not throw him in there tonight, but they could use him off the bench at some point. Now the stretch and the 2-1. It is down low.
We're going to do a segment called like International Revs or something. Everybody that's come back this year was either overseas or down in Mexico. I didn't realize Nash was in Canada either, so he's going south, then north, then back, in the middle, east.
Last year in 48 games with York, hit .282, hit for average as well, 16 bombs in 48 games. Pitch is swung on, hit deep to left field, way back and gone! Telvin Nash, his first at bat, back at PeoplesBank Park. Are you kidding me? His 45th home run with the Revs. He's into a tie for 3rd in Revs history. And welcome back to the big fella. The Revs are on the board. That didn't take long.
I don't think anybody in the building, in the stadium, is surprised about that swing. You knew that one was going off the bat. I was talking to Mace today. He was telling me just about Nash's just natural raw power. And he was telling me you've seen Burgess hit the ball and just flick his wrist, but watch what Nash can do, and saw it right there.
My goodness, does that man have a feel for the moment? Here is Wellington Dotel. It's 6-2, and Dotel swings and scalds one to right center. That's a gapper, and going back to the wall, Dotel at second, and he'll slam the brakes. He's tied for the league lead in triples. He's hit 3 in the last 8 days. He'll settle for the double here. And the Revs have put up 3 hits in their half of the first. Dotel, another scorching shot to the opposite field. That's where he's at his best.
I think Dotel really wanted 3 right there. Another ball scalded off the bat, and he smelled potentially 3, at least 2 out of the box, and made a really sharp turnaround first. Was motoring to second, and then wisely ended up pulling up there.
Now the Revs looking to erase even more of the early deficit. It's 6-2, and here's Luis Cruz with Dotel at second. Cruz on a 10-game hitting streak. 7 multi-hit games in those 10. Average up to 264. Streak is the 3rd longest of the year for the Revs. And he's hitting .475 on it. He was hitting .215 when it began. In the 7-game series in Sugar Land, 11 for 22, hit an even .500. Dotel at second, 2 outs. We continue to play in the first. Pitch to Cruz, it's over for a strike. There's a kind of a dark look to the sky here. Dark gray clouds continue to hover, but that tarp crew did vacate their launching pad down the first base side, so that's good. Here's the stretch. And the 0-1. Swinging a bouncing ball to short. Garcia is there. Gloves it, sends it across to first. That'll end the inning. But the Revs are on the board. And Telvin Nash wasting no time to make his presence felt once again. It is the 45th home run of his Revs career. A 2-run shot. 3 hits in the inning, 1 left. We go to the second. Southern Maryland 6, York 2.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called PeoplesBank Park. PeoplesBank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at PeoplesBank Park. People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You'll always hit it out of the park with great Best Yet products from your neighborhood Sure Save stores. Like party platters with $18.93 deli items. Team up Best Yet hot dogs with Best Yet kettle cooked chips. And get Best Yet 12 packs of soda and Best Yet Rising Crust pizzas at Sauble's Markets in Shrewsbury, Stewartstown, Whiteford, and East York. And at Nell's Market Fresh Foods in Spry.
Smith, Mayer & Little is a holistic wealth management group with one product, advice. We aim to simplify our clients' lives, help them retire comfortably, and build lasting legacies for their families and the causes they care about. Our purpose is simple, to make a meaningful difference in the lives of our clients, our community, and the world in which we live with the advice we provide. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. We make our living by making a difference. Visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
This is Jay Gaush. You're listening to York Revolution Baseball on the home of the Revs, Spurt Radio 1350, WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Six to 2, Revs are on the board. And they do it in about as dramatic a fashion as you could do in a game in which you're down 6-2 early, as Telvin Nash makes his return felt right away. I think we should reiterate just how hard that ball was hit. That thing was destroyed.
Yeah, and Nina didn't move in left field, and it was one off the bat where everybody in the park knew it was gone. And it's just a matter of maybe getting like a StatCast measurement to see how long it actually went, what the exit velo was.
Well, here is Frank Martinez leading off. Michael Click stays in. And the first pitch from Click this inning is over for a strike. Nash did homer in his season debut last year as well, which came in July after opening the year in the White Sox system again. It was July 25th of last year. Here's a pop-up foul toward the third base dugout. That'll find the seats. 0-2 on Martinez, who singled in the first. 2016, Nash was with the Revs to begin the year. Did not homer on opening night, but he did in the third game of that season. So he doesn't waste much time. 2015, he made his Revs debut mid-June, and the Revs were just getting back from Sugar Land. He was here waiting for them as Click misses inside, 1-2. It actually took him until his 12th game with the Revs, his first season, to go yard. It was in that game that he got hit in the hands with a pitch, and he then had to miss a week and a half till we got to see him again. Here's a swing and a fly ball hit deep to right field. Mitchell is back looking, And that sails out of here right behind Cannonball Charlie's perch, behind the Turkey Hill sign. And it is 7-2 Southern Maryland. Frank Martinez goes yard to right, his 5th of the year, here leading off the second inning.
Well, they needed a shutdown this inning, and they're not going to get it. But if Click can limit it to 1 run, that's all right. I mean, you figure Nash is going to bat probably 3 more times. If guys are on base, he can just hit 3 more home runs, and they'll get the lead back.
Sounds like a plan.
But the ball's flying a little bit tonight, and if you leave him pitches up in the zone or at least out over the plate, they're going to get hit pretty hard, and some will leave the yard.
Here's John Griffin. He swings, fouls the first one back. Singled in the first inning. Yeah, it's a muggy night. On the threat of storms, again, they've already rescheduled the Scout Night, Boy Scout Night, and sleepover and all those festivities for the second time. It will now be August 24th. The 0-1. Look out, high and tight. Griffin has to bail. That was up near his front shoulder. 7-2, Southern Maryland leading it. They have hit the second fewest home runs in the league. It's their 46th. Somerset has hit 41. The Click ready. The 1-1, and it missed in tight. A slider. Blue Crabs have not been here since late May. The Revs swept the rain-shortened 2-game series. The third game a night before the first Sugar Land trip was rained out and eventually played in Waldorf. Pitch to Griffin, a swing and a miss. Slider that he waves at, 2-2.
It's a good pitch. That slider looks good tonight from Click. Saw a good one in the first inning, but didn't get the call on the outside corner on a pitch that could have ended the inning. But that's a good one there. You can get swing and misses on.
Now Click has his sign from Cruz. And the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball foul, third base side. Blue Crabs had an interesting week. A couple days ago, they had an 11 a.m. doubleheader, 2 7-inning games scheduled. They won the first one against Lancaster in 16 innings, dropped the second game in 7. Pitch is swung on, looped foul to the first base side seats. That's out of play.
I was looking on the league scoreboard that day, and I saw that there was a doubleheader, and then I see the 16 innings up in the corner of that first box score. I would have left the park. Would have been like, Darryl, you got it the rest of the day.
Yeah, I don't do 10:30 starts. You don't do 16-inning games.
Nope. Mark that down.
I think they finished after 6 p.m., if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Pitch is a swing and a foul tip into the mitt of Cruz. A slider, and Click wins the battle with Griffin. A strikeout. Cruz hangs on to it.
It's a good pitch right there. Another off-speed pitch, low and away. And John Griffin, a guy who, he's the tall guy in that box. He's got to go down and try to get that pitch, and he's unable to. But yeah, that's a rough day, starting at 11 a.m. and not getting home until after dinner time-ish.
Last night they were rained out. They were supposed to play again. Blue Crabs lost 2 of the 3 in that series. And they have struggled recently. Pitch to Angeles Nina is over for a strike. They've actually gone 3-9 in their last 12. They started the second half 5-4. After this visit to York, they return home to host Sugar Land. Skeeters go to Lancaster and then Southern Maryland on their trip. Here's a swing and a miss, a slider from Click, 0-2. Nina, an RBI fielder's choice in the first inning. He's been a good addition for them. He struggled early on with New Britain, former Bridgeport Bluefish, but has flourished with Southern Maryland. Came in tonight hitting .312 with the Blue Crabs. Click ready to go. And the 0-2. It misses away. Cruz got down into a split, setting up as low of a target as he could. He caught 6 of the 7 in Sugar Land. The heat was a little more bearable at the end of the week. Early on, it was bad. Pitch to Nunez, up and in. He lays off 2-2. First 3 days, we had heat indexes around 106, 107, 108.
Probably lost a couple pounds just walking around the stadium, right?
I hope.
Everybody that, I mean, guys probably shed a few.
Here's a swing and a miss. Another slider from Click. Back-to-back strikeouts on that breaking ball. And there's 2 down here in the second inning.
Another good pitch right there. Anytime a team puts up, 4, 5, 6 runs like Southern Maryland did in the first inning, there's going to be a little bit of a lull later in the game, and so far Southern Maryland's added here in the second, but going forward, if Click can kind of keep them where they are right now, this game is far from over.
Now Angelo Sonko had an RBI single in the first. 7-2 Southern Maryland. Pitch from Click, misses outside, a fastball, and he jaws a few words in toward Brian DeBrouwer. He wanted it. I think everybody on the Revs side might be a little short fused tonight given the lack of sleep, but Click had one last inning that he wanted. And this one caused him to bark out at the plate ump a couple of words. Here's the 1-0. And a swing and a miss. That fastball explodes through. Well, he started Monday so that the rest of the guys didn't have to come back short with the doubleheader that they had at home last Thursday before heading southwest. There's the 1-1 and a foul tip off Cruz's mitt, deflects back to the backstop, 1-2. Revs 7-4 against the Blue Crabs this season. Last met right before the All-Star break, and the Revs nearly swept. The finale got away late. They took 2 out of 3 to begin the second half. 2 more series head-to-head in York. They are finished for the season series in Waldorf. And Click the pitch. Swinging a high pop-up at second. Henry Castillo drifting toward Nash. Castillo calls, backs up, and makes the one-hand grab as he handles that skyscraper to end the inning. Frank Martinez went deep leading off. Click retires the 3 after that. Blue Crabs do add a run on. They lead at 7-2, middle of the second, here tonight in York.
Remember rushing to the newspaper in the morning to read all about that Revs game from the night before? Was it? Yeah, that was a long time ago. We barely remember that too. Sports Radio 1350 is your home for local sports, and we're taking care of that news void in your life. Get your York Revolution game articles delivered right to your inbox every morning, courtesy of WOYK. Simply log on to YorkRevolution.com and click to sign up to receive daily game recaps right to your inbox. Keep up to date every day as the York Revolution go for another Atlantic League title. We're your source for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Since 1934, PSECU has given Pennsylvanians financial opportunities to live a better life. We are a credit union who offers valuable free and low-fee financial products, broad lending options, and outstanding money management for financing life. At PSECU, we are proud of who we are and committed to who we serve because our Pennsylvania roots run deep. We are banking on a difference. Visit PSECU.com to join us. This credit union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Remember when an app was listen only? Oh yeah, that was kind of us, wasn't it? Well, we have a new app. Download the new WOYK app on the Apple and Google Play stores and take Sports Radio 1350 on the go like never before. Listen on the go like always, and now get easier access to archived games and programs on demand. Watch WOYK game broadcasts on YouTube and so much more. Search the new WOYK on the Apple and Google Play stores and download today. It's not just an app, it's a lifestyle. Sports Radio 1350. First in York, first in sports.
You're on the home of the Atlantic League champion York Revolution. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK, York.
7-2, Southern Maryland the lead. Ryan Dent will lead things off here in the home half of the second inning. First pitch from Drake Britton is over for a strike. Dent hitting at 249, 9 homers, 35 driven in. He had a pretty good end to the series in Sugar Land, hitting safely in 3 straight. The 0-1 swings and misses, a slider low and in. Total hits were not the problem. It was cashing in on those, moving guys up, getting guys in, and then giving up big innings and some of the mistakes that came with that. Here's the 0-2, and that misses in the dirt. And the Revs offensively have been held to 3 runs or fewer in 5 of the last 6. All 5 of those are losses. They had 7 in the comeback win Monday night. Britton winds, delivers, and that misses high. So the Revs are 5.5 behind Sugar Land in the division. So is Lancaster, but in the overall standings, Lancaster has the top spot for the wild card. New Britain 3 behind them. 2-2. That misses wide. Then it's Long Island, who's 2 behind New Britain, and then it's the Revs, who are 1 behind Long Island and 3 behind New Britain for that potential second wild card spot. Britain the wind, the kick, the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Comes back to get Dent on a fastball in the outer half, 1 down.
It's a good pitch by Britton there, and a good battle between the two. Dent saw a few pitches. And the lead's not going to, or the deficit's not going to get any smaller unless the Revs start stringing together a rally. Now, the home run from Nash helps in the first, but it's going to take 1 or 2 rallies in this game, just like the rally Southern Maryland put together. Maybe they won't need 6 in it, but to string a few hits together is what it'll take tonight.
Here is Henry Castillo. First pitch is down low. Looks like maybe a light drizzle coming down. I feel like I spend so much time looking out the side of this booth against the roof where I can see the raindrops to see if it's raining. I feel like that's all I ever do.
It's incredible how much rain we've gotten.
Here's the 1-0, and a swing and a pop-up into the dark gray sky. Rosario from second backs out into the outfield, and he will handle it. Sidestepping to his right at the end, but hangs on, 2 away. And Jose Cuevas to the plate, rounding out tonight's lineup. Britton last year was with Bridgeport, worked out of the bullpen, 4-1 with a 3.68 ERA. Blue Crabs took him in the player dispersal draft. And that Bridgeport franchise technically moved. High Point Rockers starting next year. Pitch to Cuevas is a called strike up in the zone. I saw some new stadium construction photos on Twitter today, and the structure is taking shape. So that'll be exciting. There's the wind, the 0-1, and that misses inside. Britton has gotten to the majors with Boston. He had been committed to Texas A&M, but signed when the Red Sox drafted him out of high school in 07. There's the wind, the 1-1, and a backdoor slider gets the call, and he's ahead 1-2. He's from Waco, Texas. (7-2) Southern Maryland, bottom 2. Britton the wind, the pitch, and a swing and a line drive, caught at second. Rosario leaping.
Timed it perfectly right there.
That was perfect. Up to the top rung of the ladder, and Cuevas looked like it had right center written all over it, but it is hauled in. 1-2-3 inning, and we go to the third tonight. Blue Crabs in front, 7-2.
Rutter's has all your favorite seafood options. Tavern battered cod sandwich, crispy fried shrimp with bada bing dipping sauce, Flavorful crab and corn chowder, just to name a few. Rudder's Seafood. One try and you'll be hooked. Rudder's. Why go anywhere else for seafood?
Does your wealth advisor know how you take your coffee? At Smith, Mayer & Little Wealth Advisory Group, we genuinely get to know our clients, from their interests, goals, and dreams, right down to how they like their coffee. By understanding our clients on a personal level, we help them make wise financial decisions. In us, you will find a trusted confidant dedicated to your financial success. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. Get to know us over a cup of coffee or visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
Show your patriotism and Revs spirit with the new York Revolution Hat Pack. Get 6 undated ticket vouchers to use any way you'd like and 2 parking passes, plus an exclusive Revolution hat featuring the Revs logo in red, white, and blue. It's an exclusive design from York's own Legacy Athletic and one you can only get through this special offer. The Revs Hat Pack, 6 game ticket vouchers, 2 parking passes, and an exclusive Revolution baseball cap, all for just $75. Get yours while supplies last at YorkRevolution.com or 717-801-HITS.
Rudder's Hot Dog Extravaganza is here. Rudder's Kunzler hot dogs and brand new corn dogs are only 2 for $2. Our amazing Kunzler bacon wrapped cheddar dogs and sausages are only 2 for $4. Earn 2 cents on fuel for every deal purchased. Must scan rewards card. Rudder's, why go anywhere else?
This is Luke Westfall. You're listening to York Revolution Baseball on the home of the Revs, Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Third inning tonight, 7-2. Blue Crabs have the lead. Corey Vaughn will lead things off, and again, Click will likely be in for a while. He's going an inning and a third so far. 24 pitches for him. Vaughn hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first inning tonight. 7, 8, 9, Vaughn, Maddox, Rosario. And Click leans in. He's ready to go. And the first pitch of the inning, a swing and a miss. On our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard, Sugarland and Lancaster are in a rain delay. Does look quite a bit darker to the east. And Click the stretch, 0-1, and a cutter hit the outside corner at the knees. Good one there. Called strike, ahead 0-2. Vaughn's been a problem for the Revs. He's hit .333 against York, 3 home runs. Son of former big league basher Greg Vaughn. Here's the 0-2, and a fastball away. Click in his 4 innings at Sugarland on Monday night, 71 pitches. Now, he had been starting in Germany, granted not nearly the level of play here, but pitch is swung on and missed. Another strikeout on another slider darting away. He has struck out 3 out of his 5 outs and 3 of the last 4 hitters he's faced.
Well, he's a strikeout pitcher. He really gets that strikeout pitch working, that slider. He can go with the changeup, even the fastball, and it's fun to watch when he gets on a roll, when he's able to go multiple innings in a game.
And now Craig Maddox, who had a 2-run single in the first.
It's not Greg Maddox.
No, it's not. Yeah, that was tough to get over that the first year he was in the league. First pitch, a swing and a miss. I had fans emailing me, did you say Greg Maddox?
I saw some crazy stat about Greg Maddox the other day. I got to pull it up and run it by you.
Please. Is it because of the Hall of Fame ceremony? I mean, he was, what, last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, it wasn't this year, but I think somebody just tweeted this out.
There's a foul tip to the net, 0-2. Maddox spells his with an O. Craig with a C. And I can't remember the last time we've seen him catch He's been DHing. He was a player hitting coach with New Britain the last couple years. He did catch with Southern Maryland when he first came to the league a few years back. 22nd game played with them this year. Stands straight up tall, open stance, and he watches strike three. Click, pours another one across. This time a fastball, and Maddox couldn't get the bat off his shoulder. 4 strikeouts for Click, 4 of the last 5 hitters.
Click, 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 right down the lineup, throwing those, getting those strikeouts up there in the scorebook. It's, like I said, it's fun to watch when he gets on a roll, and he's just locked in right now. But that Greg Maddox stat I was going to run by you, he only walked a total of 71 batters from 1995 through 1997 in 687 1/3 innings, and 20 of those were intentional walks. So 51 walks in 687 innings.
Wow. Here's Rosario. He takes a cutter for a strike.
He truly was a broadcaster's dream.
Yes.
I mean, you'd be in and out in 2 hours.
Yeah, there would be no need to pontificate on anything. Now Click ready. Cruz the low split setup. Pitch is down and in, a cutter. Rosario an RBI fielder's choice in the first. There's a lot of pro ball players now, when you ask them about who they grew up watching, it'll be those Braves pitching staffs on national TV. Mitch Atkins, when we interviewed him, being from North Carolina, that's the first group of guys he mentioned. It was the 1-1 and a fastball low. Rosario is the K-man tonight.
You want one more on Greg Maddox for good measure?
Yeah.
He faced 20,421 batters in his career, and only 310 saw a 3-0 count.
Oh my!
And 177 of those 310 were intentional walks.
Oh,
so it's pretty wild.
There's a fastball. That's a called strike. Rosario was twisting away. Click commanding the inside part of the plate on him. 2-2. 7-2 Southern Maryland in the third. Click, though, trying to get things settled for the Revs on the pitching side of things tonight. And for that matter, have a dominant third inning, trying to end it here. As a sign from Cruz. Going in again. Pitch is swung on and missed. He strikes out the side. A cutter, foul tip held on to. Strikes out the side, and 5 of the last 6. And there will be Moz sticks on this Friday, August 3rd. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom half of the third tonight. Revs still trail the Crabs 7-2.
Tired of hearing that music? Especially when you already have that same ice cream in your freezer. Try something new and amazing with tropical shaved ice. On Monday morning after the big company event, do you want the buzz down the hall to be, how awesome was this year's company picnic? Then crush boredom and bring on Kona Ice with over 32,000 flavor combinations. This is not your typical lackluster snow cone. Their flavors are bold and delicious. Fuzzy Navel, Margarita, Blue Hawaiian. Kona Ice is dairy-free, gluten-free, and they even offer flavors that are sugar and dye-free. No party is too big or too small. They can serve up to 1,000 people per hour. They have party packages starting as low as $100. To add more excitement to your next event, find them online.
At Donegal, we understand there are many costs associated with running a business. That's why Donegal works with you to provide quality insurance products based on your business needs, and why we deliver that insurance at a price to fit your budget. Call your local independent Donegal agent today and discover why, when it comes to insurance for your business, Donegal is a better value. Contact Kochman Kunkel Insurance at 717-854-0300 or stop in at 3217 East Market Street, York. Locally owned and operated by Pam and Rudy Kochman. Kochman Kunkel Insurance.
Local sports on WOYK are brought to you by Maple Donuts, a family tradition since 1946.
The Baltimore Baseball Show with Dan Connolly, right here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK, York.
7-2, Revs trail as we head to the home half of the third inning tonight. They were in comeback mode early this evening. Talbot Nash got him on the board, a 2-run homer in the first, and his first at bat back. Blue Crabs getting one of those back, though, in the second, but Click has been unhittable since. He's retired 6 in a row, 5 on strikeouts. Here's Jared Mitchell leading off and looks at a fastball strike. He flied to left his first time. Top of the order for the Revs, Casilla and Mesa seeing Britton for the second time tonight as well. There's the 0-1. Breaking ball misses high. Mitchell hit several deep flies to right in Sugarland that if those were here, he'd have been circling the bases, but it's a cavern there. Here's a breaking ball called strike, 1-2. And Southern Maryland is that way in right field as well, but I think Sugarland's worse because there's almost always wind straight in from right also. Here's the wind, the 1-2, and it misses down and away. I remember they had their very first year. The Revs were the opponent when that stadium opened. And we got there, saw how deep it was, saw the wind in, and we were told, oh, this is all the time. Here's the 2-2. And a check swing. He's rung up a called third strike anyway. Slider froze him, 1 down. But Sugarland that first year, they had Josh Presley. He was acquired from Somerset. They had former Rev Jason Botts. These left-hand power hitters who had to hit it a mile to make use of their craft in their new home stadium. And here's Alexi, who singled the other way his first time. He has been on a tear. Britton with the pitch, and is swinging a fly ball, shallow center. Vaughn will tiptoe in, and under it, he makes the one-hand grab, 2 down quickly, and Britton has retired 6 in a row.
He's been good since that first inning, and the Revs have had a lot of success against Drake over the course of the 2018 season, but playing catch-up from the start is never easy, and I'm sure Britton loving pitching with this big lead.
We'll bring up Malky Mesa, who hit into a fielder's choice in the first, did score a run. And here's the first pitch to him. It is down and in. Britton turned 29 earlier this year. Again, his pro career started out of high school when the Red Sox drafted him in 2007. And the pitch to Mesa, that's across for a strike. He made it to the majors in 2013 and 14. Winds and fires. It's up and away. 2 balls and a strike to Mesa. He's an all-star in the Eastern League in 2013 at AA Portland. Got 18 big league outings as a rookie. Red Sox won the World Series, so he got a ring. Here's the 2-1. And a swing and another foul over by the third base dugout. He was 1-1 with a 3.86 ERA as a rookie. But struggled in 2014, was sent back to AAA for most of the year. And then the 2 years after that, he was at AAA with the Cubs and Tigers, did not get back to the majors. The 2-2, backdoor slider, and he does not get the call. That was close. Mesa might have been bracing to hear strike 3 there.
I think that was a little bit off the plate, maybe a tad low, but either way, it's close. And Michael Click on the flip side hasn't gotten a couple calls on the outer half. It's been consistent at least.
It's now a full count. And the pitch, swing and a pop-up. Right side, Rosario and Sonko back. Rosario, the second baseman, better angle, calls off Sonko and makes the grab. 1-2-3 inning. That's 7 in a row for Britton. And we'll go to the fourth. Michael with the play-by-play. The Revs trail the Blue Crabs 7-2.
Brimmer has been York's license and notary specialist since 1969. An approved online messenger for PennDOT, it offers registration and driver's license renewals, online title transfers, money orders, and notary service, all with a friendly staff that guarantees your satisfaction. For more information on Brimmer's convenient hours and fast service, call 717-699-1060 in York or visit them on the web at brimmers.com. Brimmer Fast Licensing and Notary Service with 4 convenient locations in York and Lancaster.
Shipley Energy is more than just an energy company. We're a family tradition. Our goal is to provide outstanding customer service and to make energy easy for you. From heating oil and propane to natural gas and electricity, our team can help. We also offer HVAC services, installation, maintenance, and service plans to keep your home safe and comfortable. In addition, our team can improve the quality of water in your home. To learn more, visit ShipleyEnergy.com or call 855-5-SHIPLEY. We make energy easy.
You trust AAA to work at every mile. But AAA doesn't just cover your car. They can also cover your home. AAA Home Insurance protects every square foot. And when you add AAA Home Insurance to AAA Auto Insurance, you get more protection and more savings. Insurance that's not just insurance. Talk to your local AAA insurance agent today or visit AAA.com to learn more about AAA Home Insurance.
This is Paul Fletcher. You're listening to York Revolution Baseball on the home of the Revs, Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Revs trail the Blue Crabs 7-2, top of the fourth inning from PeoplesBank Park in downtown York. Michael Marcantonini taking over on the play-by-play. Michael Click back out to work. This will be his third full inning, that is if he finishes it. Third inning that he starts. He got the final out of the first inning. And he struck out 5 batters over his last 2 innings, so 2 1/3 so far for Click in relief of Severino, who went just 2/3 of an inning tonight. 7 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Crabs. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors for the Revs. Top of the order for Southern Maryland in the inning, Teodoro Martinez, Edwin Garcia, and Frank Martinez. Teodoro 2 for 2 with a double and a single and a run scored. All of that came in the first inning. Crabs sent 11 to the plate in the first today. Got 6 runs in that inning. Click's first pitch of the inning is tanked out to deep left field. If it's fair, it's gone. That wall is going to hook foul. And it's just a long strike. 0-1 the count now on Martinez. A lot of first pitch swinging, or at least early in the count swinging from the Blue Crabs tonight. They do have a home run. Frank Martinez hit a solo shot in the third. The Revs have a homer. They accounted for their only 2 runs. Telvin Nash in his first plate appearance of the season in his return to York hit a 2-run shot over the arch nemesis. Now the 0-1 from Click. Slider low and away. Called strike 2. And Click way ahead at 0-2 now. Martinez at .293 on the season. It's been a fixture at the top of the order for the Blue Crabs this year and really came on strong earlier in the year and really hasn't stopped hitting since probably early May. No balls and 2 strikes on Teodoro. He's in the righty box. The pitch, Click, and he fouls it off. Click went with the fastball in the outer half, and the count remains 0-2. 7-2 lead for Southern Maryland, top 4. 6 in the first, 1 more in the second. The Revs got both their runs on the Nash homer in the bottom of the first. 8 combined runs in that first inning. Click looking to weather the storm a little bit, and it could be a double entendre. There's storms in the area. 0-2 pitch coming up. Cruz sets low and away, and he gets it there. Swing and a miss on the slider. 6 punch-outs for Click in the game. He continues to dominate with that slider. 1 out here in the fourth. Great setup by Cruz. Got into a split, putting the leg out. Wanted it low and away, got it out there. Click has been money working with Cruz tonight. It's pretty much target practice with that slider. Right-handers have really struggled against it. So with 1 down and no one on, here's Edwin Garcia, the shortstop. .281 average, 2 homers, 24 driven in. 25 now with a single in the first inning. He takes a strike on the outer half. It's 0-1. 7-2 Southern Maryland lead, top 4. Garcia plated one of the 6 runs in the first. He came around to score one of the 6 as well. Shortstop bats right. Rocking the high socks tonight. Revs defense back with 1 out and no one on. Click set on the mound. Cruz wants a low pitch. Here it is. Slow hit ground ball down to first, but that rolls foul. Nash picks it up anyway. And Click ahead 0-2 on the second straight hitter of the inning. He'll look for strikeout number 7. After allowing a solo homer to lead off the second, he went strikeout, strikeout, pop-up, and then the third inning he struck out the side. And to start here, the 4th, a punch-out. 4 straight strikeouts. 6 of the last 7 batters have been K'd by Click. See if he can do it again. Comes set on the mound. Cruz setting up low and away. The 0-2 pitch from Click. Fastball misses high, and the count goes to 1-2. Revs defense straight away in the infield and the outfield. Dark skies out over really every part of the outfield here at PeoplesBank Park. A little bit of a breeze. It's gotten a little cool tonight. No rain right now. Click ready. Now Cruz setting up inside. He wants that 1-2 pitch there. Here it is. Fastball lined out to right field. Inside out swing, but Mitchell is right there. A couple steps to his right. He makes the grab. 2 up, 2 down for Click in the 4th. He's rolling. So with that out, that's 8 straight batters retired by Click, and the last man to reach or, well, circle the bases against Mike was Frank Martinez. Solo homer to right, his 2nd time up. He's 2 for 2, singled and scored a run in the 1st. So Click will look to make it back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. He'll look to get Martinez for the first time tonight. Severino gave up the single to him. Click the homer. 7-2 Southern Maryland lead here in the 4th. First pitch fastball misses just inside, and the count goes to a 1-0. Darryl mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Click made a spot start this past week in Sugar Land. Went 4 innings in that one. The rest of his appearances this season have been in relief. Click ready on the mound. The 1-0 coming up to the left-handed hitting Frank Martinez. And the pitch, slider yanked foul down the first baseline past Nash. And the count goes to 1-1. 7-2 Southern Maryland lead, away half of the 4th inning. Revs have trailed the entire way as Southern Maryland got 6 in the 1st, so they'll have to play catch-up once again. But not out of the realm of possibility. We're only in the 4th. The Revs have had their share of comeback wins this season, 17 on the year. Now Click set again. Cruz really low in a squat, the 1-1. Slider swing and a miss, 1-2. Pinpoint accuracy, I'll say it again for Michael Click. That's what it's been tonight with that slider. He's gone almost exclusively to the slider with 2 strikes on a batter. And he has it here, so we'll see if he comes with that pitch once again. 2 outs in the inning, no one on. 1-2 the count on Frank Martinez, the Crabs 3-hitter. John Griffin looming on deck. Click takes the sign from Cruz, comes set at the chest. He's ready. The 1-2 2-out pitch. Slider misses down and in. Good take from Martinez. And the count evens up at 2 with 2 outs. Click's last outing in relief was on July 27th in Sugar Land. Went 2/3 of an inning scoreless, got a hold in that game. A couple days later, made the spot start. Click ready's the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Out to short, or out to second, excuse me, and caught on a line by Henry Castillo. Another 1-2-3 inning for Michael Click. Doesn't strike out the side, but does pick up one more K. He goes strikeout, line out, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none reached base. After 3.5, it's the Blue Crabs 7, and the Revs coming to bat with only 2.
Have
Have you heard? Royal Farms has gotten the national culinary recognition it deserves. Yeah, in Food and Wine magazine's article, 10 gas station foods across the country that are worth the detour, they put Royal Farms' world-famous chicken at the top of the list. Well, we've always known that Royal Farms has the best fried chicken, but now the whole world knows. So hurry into a Royal Farms to pick up some of their nationally recognized world-famous chicken before the world beats a path to their door. Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast.
If you own a tractor-trailer business, then you know the cost of having your rig down instead of on the road. Rivers Truck Center in Red Lion keeps your trucks on the road by providing a one-stop shop for all your trucking needs. Rivers handles full-service truck sales and carries a full line of parts for all makes and models, has their own full-service collision center, and provides 24-hour emergency towing and roadside assistance. Check out riverstruck.com for more info. There's a reason Rivers Truck Center has been in business for over 40 years. They really do care.
It is easy being green. In York County, trash is safely managed at a waste-to-energy facility where it is used as fuel to produce electricity. The electricity generated from trash is enough to power 20,000 homes. That's enough to light the entire city of York. Learn more at www.ycswa.com. Garbage is power.
This is Ryan Dent. You're listening to York Revolution Baseball on the home of the Revs, Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, First in York, First in Sports.
Home half of the fourth inning here at PeoplesBank Park in downtown York. Revs trail the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 7-2 in Game 1 of a 3-game set. Game 1 of a 6-game homestand. Revs will play a Friday, Saturday, Sunday 3-game series here with the Crabs, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against the New Britain Bees. That'll be a big series. This, a big series as well, as Telvin Nash steps up to bat here in the bottom of the fourth. He'll lead things off. Nash, Dotel, Cruz, 4-5-6 against lefty Drake Britton. Nash, a big welcome back to PeoplesBank Park. Got a standing ovation before his first AB. He takes the first pitch high, 1-0, and then proceeded to deposit one over the arch nemesis for a 2-run homer. Homer's in his first plate appearance back with York. That's one way to energize the crowd. Now the 1-0 pitch, Nash flips it foul into the netting. It's 1-1. So Telvin, it was his 45th career home run as a Rev. 16 of those came last season in only 48 games. That's a home run every 3 games. If you did the math at home, you would be correct that it is every 3. Pretty impressive stuff, even if you are as powerful as Nash is. 1-1 pitch coming from Britton. Nash sends it out to right center field and deep. On his horse is Vaughn. He won't get there. It's down. Cuts it off at the warning track. Nash around first digging for 2. A stand-up double for Telvin Nash. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of extra base hits in his return to PeoplesBank Park. And just an effortless swing from Telvin there. Opposite field, line drive that kept carrying. So Robert Carson, who's coaching first, is out to grab his shin guard. Rob saying hello to a couple of his former Blue Crabs teammates while he's out there. So a leadoff double for Nash. A 2-run homer and a double. Not too bad of a season debut coming back to your former team. So he's out at second for Dotel as Drake Britton continues to work with a 5-run lead, but the Revs have something going here to start the fourth. Nash a big lead off second. Now the shortstop, Garcia, trying to keep him close. He backs up now. First pitch to Dotel. He swings an inside outs one out to right field, but that's foul into the seats just behind the Revs bullpen down the right field line. 7-2 lead for Southern Maryland, bottom of the fourth. The Revs threatening, though. Telvin Nash, a leadoff double to the gap in right center field, has given the Revs an early scoring opportunity here in the fourth. Dotel went out to right center his first time up, doubled on a ball where, you know, he was thinking triple from the start, but pulled up wisely at second, and then Nash, before that, hit the homer. 0-1 coming to Dotel. Open stance, the pitch way inside. Dotel has to lunge out of the way, and the count evens up at 1. Revs' only 2 runs of the game came in the first on Nash's homer. They have 4 hits in the game. They've all come from the 2 through 5 hitters. Dotel in the 5 spot tonight. He's a guy who's mostly hit third for the Revs, a little cleanup, and now in the 5 hole. The 1-1 pitch, Dotel swings through it. Actually, foul tips it into the catcher Maddox's glove, according to the home plate umpire Brian DeBrouwer. Counts 1-2. Nash still at second base. Dotel in the box. Dotel hitting .308 on the year, .322 with the Revs. 6 homers, 43 RBIs. Tie for the league lead with 6 triples as well. 1-2 pitch, pickoff move to second. It sails into left center field, but no advancement from Nash as he had to dive back into second. Not enough time for him to get up and take off for third. Corey Vaughn, the center fielder, was over quickly to pick it up in the outfield. And it looked like Garcia, the shortstop covering, hurt his arm or shoulder or hand, something of the sort, as the pickoff throw kind of took his arm off as Nash dove into second base. Wasn't able to get his glove out there for the ball. No harm done on that pickoff attempt. Otherwise, that's easily an error on Drake Britton for the wild throw. Nash still at second base. 1-2 the count on Dotel. Revs down 5 here in the 4th. An abbreviated righty shift for Dotel, but there is a huge hole between short and third. They're giving him the first base line as well. The pitch, fastball misses off the plate. It's a good location for Britton, or really even click on the flip side for the Revs if they can get that outside corner call, but that one just a little bit too far off the plate. The count runs to even at 2. No outs in the inning. Nash at second. He doubled to start the frame. Revs down 7-2. Britton comes set. Looks out at Nash. Leg kick and the pitch. Dotel flails at it and comes up empty. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Third strikeout of the game for Britton. He's got the first out here in the 4th. Well, now Luis Cruz will come to the plate, catching again tonight. Did a bulk of the catching down in Sugarland. And he had an excellent series, did Cruz. Hit .500 over the 7-game series. He played in 6 of them. Went 11 for 22. And on his 10-game hitting streak, he's raised his season average from .215 to .264. We're talking about a guy hitting down towards the Mendoza line, and now he's a couple hits away from the .270 mark. Luis steps in the right-handed batter's box. Nash out at second, decent-sized lead for him. First pitch, Cruz deposits it into the left center field gap. That's down. Nash waited, but now he's rounding third and heading home. It'll be an RBI single for Luis Cruz, and the Revs cut the deficit to 4. It's a 7-3 game now here in the 4th. Luis Cruz continues to hit. He picks up RBI number 27 on the 2018 season. Like I was just saying, that batting average keeps going up. It's .264 coming in, and he's 1 for 2 tonight. And as Nash comes in to score his second run of the night, gives the Revs 3 on the board, and now Ryan Dent will step to the plate with a man on first and 1 out. Cruz kind of fought that one off his hand. It was a sinking liner into left center, but you knew it was down right away. The left fielder, Nina, was deep. Now Dent ready to hit. First pitch from Britton. He swings at it and fouls one out of play. Into the seats, it's 0-1. 7-3 lead now for Southern Maryland as the Revs have tacked on a run here in the 4th. Nash doubled to right center to lead things off. Dotel then struck out swinging. And Cruz a couple pitches into his at-bat. Plated Nash. So it's Cruz over at first. Short lead for him. He's being held on by Sonko. Big hole for Dent on the right side. The 0-1, swing and a miss at a changeup. That's been an effective pitch for Britton tonight. Count goes to 0-2. Britton way ahead. Revs have 3 extra base hits in the game. They have 5 hits total. 2 doubles, 2 singles, and the Nash homer. Dent open stance at the dish, waiting for the 0-2 from Britton. A look over at first. Now the pitch. Sent through the 5.5 hole into left field, a base hit. Cruz to second. Dent picks up a hit in his 4th straight game. The Revs can continue to be in business here in the inning. That brings up Henry Castillo, the second baseman. He's spelling Alexi Casilla in the field tonight, but Casilla still in the lineup as the designated hitter. Britton running into trouble, though. He only has 1 out here in the 4th. The Revs have runners at first and second. It's Dent over at first, Cruz at second. They both singled. Like I mentioned for Dent, 4 straight now that he's hit in. And here comes Castillo, who just joined the Revs in the team's last homestand and then played a good amount in the Sugarland series. Britton looks at second, now to the plate. Castillo fouls one off. He's hitting from the right side against the lefty Britton. Castillo, a switch hitter. Was playing for the Dominican Republic guest team in the Can-Am League before the Revs signed him. Played a little third, a little short, second base tonight. He's helping the team out at a few different areas. I know Mace loves having another switch hitter on the roster. 0-1 the count with 1 out and 2 on. Pitch, Castillo pops it foul out of play. It's 0-2. Castillo, 5'11", 189. Was born in December of '94. Another youngster on this Revs squad. Only 23 years old. Started his pro career in 2013. He was 18 years old when he was signed by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Has exclusively played his affiliated ball with the Diamondbacks organization before turning to the independent landscape. 0-2 pitch, fastball misses high, it's 1-2. Castillo's a guy with some pop, had 18 combined home runs and 111 combined RBIs in 2016 and 17 with Jaime Visalia in the D-backs system. No homers, 2 RBIs so far this year for Castillo. He's played in 8 games. Britton readies the 1-2. Here it is. Line drive to left field. Nina coming over. He makes the grab. And the throw goes into second. It's not in time to double up Luis Cruz. Cruz didn't freeze. He went as that ball was hit, but he gets back to second in time. Same with Dent back at first. That ball was scorched off the bat of Castillo, but it just turns into a hard, loud out as Angeles Nina over in left field ranged over a little bit towards the line and made the grab. Now Jose Cuevas with 2 outs and runners at first and second. Revs trail 7-3 to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs in the opener of this 3-game series. Revs 10-12 in the second half, Southern Maryland 8-13. Overall, the Revs 42-43, Southern Maryland 34-50. Cuevas ready for the first offering. Leg kick from Britton and the pitch. Strike over the heart of the plate. It's 0-1. Revs have a run here in the 4th. Luis Cruz an RBI single, scoring Telvin Nash, who led off the inning with a double to right center. Revs looking for more, though. They don't want to leave 2 on here in the inning. 0-1 from Britton. Cuevas takes another one right down the middle, and it's 0-2. Jose's had a tough season, hitting just .213, 3 homers, 31 RBIs. Has played a little bit of first base recently for the Revs. Did that down in Sugarland. Was just 4 for 20 with 2 RBIs in that 7-game Sugarland series. Did not play in all 7, though. 0-2 pitch to him. Ground ball out to short. Through the hole, it sneaks through. Polo sending Cruz. Here's Nina's throw to the plate. It's high, and Cruz slides in safe ahead of the tag. Head first slide for Luis Cruz. He comes up a bit lame. Looks like he's grabbing, I don't know, hamstring or back. Luis Cruz is in some pain down there, but it's an RBI single for Jose Cuevas. A seeing eye shot through the 5.5 hole. It's a 7-4 game. So the Revs have added 2 runs here in the inning. Mark Mason and athletic trainer Chong Choi out to check on Cruz. He's holding his hamstring in the backside of his leg. So that looks like what it is. He did have his hands on his back, so it looked for a second like that might be it, but Cruz, who was waved home on that ball, that slow hit ground ball through the hole. With 2 outs, you send him all the way there, and Polo made a good send, but Cruz limping his way into the dugout. We'll see if he's going to have to come out of the game. The only other active catcher on the Revs roster right now is Roger Diaz. Tyler Clark's on the DL. Isaiah Tejeda is inactive. So that's something to keep in mind. But Cruz does score on the play. It's Now a 7-4 game as Jared Mitchell steps in with first and second and 2 outs. Left on left for Britton. First pitch fastball outside corner for a strike. Cuevas picks up RBI number 32 on the year. The Revs have 2 multi-run innings in this one. They do still trail by 3. A lot of baseball left. We're only in the bottom of the 4th. The 7-4 Southern Maryland lead could be erased in a hurry. The 0-1 to Mitchell, flip foul out of play. Bullpen action down the left field line for the Blue Crabs. Right-hander Craig Stem is getting loose. Britton trying to get through the 4th for his club. He's gone 3 2/3 so far. He's allowed 4 runs on 7 hits. All 4 of those runs are earned. Ryan Dent out at second, Jose Cuevas at first. The entire Crabs infield is deep with 2 outs. Outfield playing Mitchell straight away. And now they actually looks like they're going to shade him towards left field. 0-2 pitch, slider misses away, and that could have just been because the pitch was a slider from Britton. And that's often the case is outfielders and even infielders shift based on what pitch their pitcher's throwing. 1-2 the count now. Dent and Cuevas at second and first can each get big leads. Britton pauses. Now the 1-2 pitch. Mitchell smacks this one out to deep left center field. Vaughn giving chase. Nina is there in left center. He's the one that makes the grab. And the inning and the threat ends like that. 2 runs in the inning, though, for the Revs. They do it on 4 hits, no errors. They leave 2. After 4 full, it's the Blue Crabs 7, and the Revs back in it with 4.
Hey, it's the good-looking genius at Broadway Transmission. You know what really grinds my gears? Perfectly good cars being thrown away just because the transmission went bad. My mind slips into overdrive when someone says,
I'll just get a new car before I spend that kind of money on a transmission.
What? According to Kelley Blue Book, the average price of a new car is $32,000. Now you're going to finance that, right? There's another $6,000 to $8,000. And if you drive it off the showroom floor, it loses 20% of its value immediately. Don't forget, you also have to pay sales tax, higher insurance rates, title and registration fees, and come up with $600, $700, $800 a month depending on your interest rates for 5 years. And remember, you will still have to pay for the upkeep of the car. Brakes, tires, wipers, fluids, etc. Stop! Trade your transmission, not your car.
Thanks, good-looking genius.
You're welcome, ma'am. Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and save you all that dough. Visit us on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
Show your patriotism and Revs spirit with the new York Revolution Hat Pack. Get 6 undated ticket vouchers to use any way you'd like and 2 parking passes, plus an exclusive Revolution hat featuring the Revs logo in red, white, and blue. It's an exclusive design from York's own Legacy Athletic and one you can only get through this special offer. The Revs Hat Pack. 6 game ticket vouchers, 2 parking passes, and an exclusive Revolution baseball cap, all for just $75. Get yours while supplies last at YorkRevolution.com or 717-801-HITS.
This is Chang Choi, athletic trainer of the York Revolution. You're listening to York Revolution Baseball on the home of the Revs, Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Top of the 5th inning from PeoplesBank Park. Michael Click back out to work in the 5th inning. He's been excellent so far in this one since taking over for Dominic Severino, who went just 2/3 of an inning. Click got the final out of the 1st. He allowed a solo homer to lead off the 2nd, but since has not given up a hit. He has not allowed a base runner. He's retired 9 straight. He'll face the middle of the Blue Crabs order here in the 5th. John Griffin, Angeles Nina, and Angelo Sonko. Revs trail the Blue Crabs 7-4. Luis Cruz is back in to catch, and that is of note because he came up lame holding his hamstring after sliding in safe at home plate on Jose Cuevas' RBI single in the bottom of the 4th. So Cruz stays in the game. Michael Click stays in the game. He's been excellent so far. He's worked 3 1/3 innings. He'll face John Griffin, the tall, husky DH for the Crabs, right-handed hitter. Single and a run. His first time up, then struck out swinging his next time up as he takes a strike to start the inning. It's 0-1. Revs got 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Luis Cruz RBI single. He plated Telvin Nash. Then Cruz came in to score on Cuevas' RBI single. Revs have cut the deficit to just 3. It's 7-4 here in the 5th. 0-1 pitch to Griffin. Fly ball right field towards the line. Mitchell racing in and over, and he won't get there. Ball lands foul in the Revs bullpen. And the count goes to 0-2. Mitchell was shaded more towards right center, so he had a long way to go, and that ball was pretty shallow. So unless he made a diving effort at the last second and got there a little bit quicker, there was no chance. Surprised he even got as far as he did. And the count stays at 0-2. Griffin, a .281 hitter on the year. He has 7 home runs, but only 16 RBIs. Bunch of solo homers mixed in there. Griffin set. So is Click on the mound, taking the sign. He's ready. Cruz wants it low and away. 0-2 pitch coming up. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Slider exactly where Cruz wanted it, low and away. Another punch out from Michael Click. Give him 7 in the game. And he's retired 10 in a row. So he's been fantastic. There's really no other way to put it. Rolling along here is Michael Click in relief. The Revs still trail in this one. But you get the feeling that that could change the way the bats have come alive, the way Click has thrown the ball in relief. Now with 1 out and no one on, here's Nina. Nina in left field tonight. First pitch swinging, he's gassed by a fastball. Good pitch there from Click. Didn't get a reading on the radar gun there. Don't see anything out on the scoreboard in right center, but that had some gas on it. 0-1 the count. Click back to work. Set on the mound. The 0-1 pitch. Slider misses just a little bit off the plate and evens up at 1. Nina started the year with the New Britain Bees. He's had an excellent campaign in his time with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, hitting .312 with the Crabs, .278 overall. Change of scenery has definitely helped him. 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Fastball off the hands into shallow center, but right there is Wellington Dotel to make the grab. 2 up, 2 down for Click. 11 in a row retired. So it is, like I said, 11 in a row retired by Click. 7 of those have been strikeouts. 1 pop-up and 3 lineouts. So with 2 down and no one on, here's Angelo Sanko. So with 11 in a row retired by Click, we'll take a look at the record this season for consecutive batters retired for a Rev. For a reliever, consecutive hitters retired, the record was 8, set by Zach Groats on May 8th at Southern Maryland, but Click is shattered. It's 11 in a row for him. And he has tied the record for hitters retired by a starting pitcher. Now, Click's not a starter, but just to show you where he is with 11 in a row retired. 17 batters in a row retired is the team record this season. 3 pitchers combined to do it on June 9th against Long Island. A 1-0 pitch to Sanko, swing and a miss. It's 1-1. So Click is now surpassed Zach Groats. He had already passed Zach Groats last inning for the most consecutive hitters retired by 1 relief pitcher in a game. Looking for 4 straight 1-2-3 innings. It's been exceptional what Click's done. Crabs lead at 7-4 in the 5th, but the Revs have the momentum, it seems like. 1-1 pitch coming from Click. Here it is. Fly ball, shallow center field. Wellington Dotel is in, but it's Ryan Dent, the shortstop, a few steps into center to make the catch. 12 in a row retired by Michael Click. They've all been strikeouts or balls in the air. No ground outs, but he hasn't needed anything on the ground. 12 in a row, retired 4 straight 1-2-3 innings for Click. He's kept the Blue Crabs at bay. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th, Revs trail by only 3. It's 7-4 Southern Maryland. Stick with us on the broadcast.
You know, something funny happens when people buy their dream home. They can both look at the same thing and see it in an entirely different way. He sees a man cave, while she sees an art room.
Hi, my name is Ryan Scott with J.G. Wentworth Home Lending, and this has become a common theme from our happy customers. With our competitive rates, quick process, and close-on-time guarantee, why would you choose another mortgage company to finance your dreams? Call us today at 855-JGW-LEND so we can get you on your path towards home ownership.
J.G. Wentworth Home Lending will take care of all the details of purchasing your home so you can focus on what to do once you move in. You know, will that great backyard be a beautiful garden? Or a beautiful new pool? Yeah, that's one detail we'll leave up to you. Call 855-JGW-LEND today. Mortgage loans offered by J.G. Wentworth Home Lending, LLC, 3550 Commission Court, Woodbridge, Virginia, NMLS ID 2925, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, Equal Housing Lender.
Remember rushing to the newspaper in the morning to read all about that Revs game from the night before? Yeah, that was a long time ago. We barely remember that too. Sports Radio 1350 is your home for local sports, and we're taking care of that news void in your life. Get your York Revolution game articles delivered right to your inbox every morning, courtesy of WOYK. Simply log on to YorkRevolution.com and click to sign up to receive daily game recaps right to your inbox. Keep up to date every day as the York Revolution go for another Atlantic League title. We're your source for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Listen live, on demand, and on the go. Download the new WOYK app on the Apple and Google Play stores today.
Bottom of the fifth inning from PeoplesBank Park. Lexi Casilla leads things off against Drake Britton. Still out there for the Blue Crabs. He's worked 4 innings so far. Casilla swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Foul out of play into the seats over the Revs first base dugout. It's 0-1. 7-4 lead for Southern Maryland, bottom 5. As it has become a dark, gloomy, gray night here in downtown York. Wind has picked up a little bit, blowing out towards right center field. But it is dark. Some really, really massive dark clouds all over the outfield and the horizon, but no rain yet. 0-1 pitch coming up to Alexi, and that pitch misses outside. It's 1-1. Casilla getting a night off his feet. He's DHing, but can almost argue he didn't need it. But to keep his bat in the lineup is the big thing. 1-1 pitch. Casilla tanks this one out to deep left field, but right there is Angeles Nina, and Casilla is retired. Well, I mentioned Casilla almost didn't need the day off because he's hitting .329. He was demolishing the baseball down in Sugarland, but he is retired. Just 1 for 3 tonight. Picked on a high fastball there, but just didn't get it deep enough. And here's Melky Mesa with none on and 1 out. 7-4 lead for Southern Maryland. They have 8 hits in the game. The Revs 7 hits. Neither team has committed an error. Mesa digging in. First pitch from Britton. Fastball high and away. It's 1-0. Mesa hitting .320. Good for 6th in the Atlantic League coming in. 11 homers. Tie for the team lead there. So driven in 44. Well, he takes his time getting back into the box. The count's 1-0. 1 out, no one on in the inning. Pitch, another pitch that misses high and away, and it's 2-0. Mesa leads the team with 44 RBIs coming into today. Couple guys right behind him, though. Wellington Dotel with 43. Pitch misses low and inside. It's 3-0. Michael Burgess with 39, Dent with 35. A lot of guys bunched up around that 40 RBI mark. 3-0 coming. Pitch from Britton. There's a fastball that misses. No, it does not miss. Called strike 1. Top half of the strike zone according to Brian DeBrouwer. And it's 3-1. Mesa was already on his way down to first base, but he'll step back in the box. Revs trail by 3, bottom 5. Pitch from Britton. That one does indeed miss high. And it's a 5-pitch walk to Mesa with 1 out here in the 5th. When I say dark, just depressing looking clouds, that is exactly what they are in the distance. I mean, it looks almost like we're in a horror movie or something of that nature. It is dark out there and just flat out scary looking. If we weren't at a baseball field with lights on it, if you're not a night where you want to walk down the street alone, I mean, it is just creepy. Now, James Frisbee, Blue Crabs manager, was out for a quick chat with his starter Drake Britton, but he'll head back to the dugout. A quick walk for Frizz. He'll leave Britton in. Craig Stem continues to loosen up down the left field line in the bullpen for the Crabs. Britton working with a 7-4 lead here in the 6th as Telvin Nash steps into the box. Mesa just walked on 5 pitches. That's what prompted the visit from Frisbee. And now Nash will try to stay perfect on the night. 2 for 2 with a 2-run homer and a double. He scored a pair of runs. Britton a look to first. Now the pitch. Nash swings at the first one and fouls it off the mask of Craig Maddox, the catcher. Well, that thing, pretty wild ricochet off the mask. Nash, a powerful dude, barely swung at either of the balls he's hit for extra bases tonight. The homer was launched. The double to right center, that thing, like I said, almost just flicked out that way. 0-1 the count, man on first, 1 out. Britton looks at Mesa. The pitch to Nash, he takes for a called strike 2. It's 0-2. That was a good one down the heart of the plate, but Nash elected to take. Hit .282 last year in 48 games with the Revs. He's off to an excellent start this year. And now the rain is coming down here at PeoplesBank Park, and it is significant. It's not a drizzle, it's not a downpour, but somewhere in the middle. 0-2 to Nash, flicks it foul into the netting. And the count stays at 0-2. Well, the fans in the seats will either pull out their umbrellas, put their ponchos on, or head up for cover. The rain finally started to come down, but nothing crazy right now. 7-4 lead for Southern Maryland, bottom 5. Nash at the dish with an 0-2 count. Mesa leads off first, 1 down. Crabs will try to play for 2 up the middle. 0-2 pitch to Nash. He takes inside. Ball gets away from Maddox, the catcher, to his left, but not far enough away that Mesa can pick up second. He remains at first. 1-2 the count now with 1 down. Nash will take his helmet off, wipe some of the rain, put it back on. He's getting set to step back in the box. Another huge dude that you add to this lineup. Nash, 6'1", 250. Griffin, Georgia native. 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses inside, and the count evens up at 2. So the dark clouds that I mentioned have just kind of become one big cloud out in right center. And it's turned into some rain. I'm not a meteorologist, I'm not a weatherman, but it's basically a lot of clouds are now one. 2-2 on Nash. Mesa at first. The pitch, fly ball out to deep right field. Going back on it is Teodoro Martinez, and he'll just watch it fly. A 2-run home run for Telvin Nash. How about that for a debut, big fella? 3 for 3, a pair of 2-run homers. A double, 3 runs scored. And the deficit is now 1. Telvin Nash, a multi-homer game in his season debut. Give him 46 in his Revs career. He goes to left his first at bat, a double to right center his second time up. And why not for an encore? A line drive, 2-run shot over the wall in right. And that's going to be it for Drake Britton. The Revs now with 6 on the board. They have 2 runs here in the 5th. And it'll be a call to the bullpen pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Right-hander coming in for the Crabs. We're going to take a quick break, but Telvin Nash has just put a charge into another baseball. Don't think anyone expected anything different. Nash is 3 for 3 in his season debut. And boy, is it good to have him back in York. 7-6 now the lead for Southern Maryland. Revs with all the momentum, though. We'll take a quick break. Bases empty and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Revs threatening for more. Stay with us.
As you clean it out, keep in mind Community Aid's looking for your lucky leftovers. After you wrap up your yard sale, donate what's left over at your closest Community Aid Drive-Up Donation Center. They're attached to each of Community Aid's incredible thrift stores in our area. Hanover, Harrisburg, Lancaster, Mechanicsburg, and Selinsgrove. Community Aid wants your lucky leftovers to help more than 750 local charities. Learn more at communityaid.net. But don't forget, give your lucky leftovers to Community Aid. Neighbors helping neighbors.
Carmen Fusco Pro Baseball and Softball Academy in New Cumberland offers a variety of lesson plans for every budget. Owner Carmen Fusco has 38 years of Major League Baseball experience, and our staff is made up entirely of professional instructors, including Carmen Fusco, Sam Knott, TJ Cronenberger, and Lisa Baker. We offer one-on-one private instruction, camps and clinics, and year-round travel ball programs focused on developing the player. We differ from other facilities because we offer professional instruction with Major League Baseball techniques. We also provide free college placement for our athletes. Conveniently located off I-83 between Harrisburg and York, check out Carmen Fusco Pro Baseball and Softball Academy in New Cumberland and go online to FuscoProBaseball.com.
Sports injury? Walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics for immediate care. No appointment is ever needed. Our orthopedic and sports medicine specialists are here to treat you. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today for hours at our York and Hanover locations.
Hey, this is Jacoby Jones, Super Bowl champ, Dancing with the Stars. If y'all didn't vote for me, it's y'all fault I lost, but you're listening to the radio, WOYK 1350, baby.
Back here on the broadcast, Michael Marcantonini with you. Wellington Dotel steps to the plate against Shane Watson, the new pitcher, in the bottom of the fifth for the Blue Crabs. It's pouring here in York. Dotel almost gets hit with a fastball up and in. So the rain is falling harder than when it started in the inning, and now they're going to call for the tarp. So I think that was the indication, all the indication they needed that they're going to need to put the tarp on, as that fastball from Shane Watson slipped, almost plunked Wellington Dotel in the head. The tarp crew is out on the field getting things ready, so they were ready to go right away, but it is flat out pouring here in York. I mean, flat out downpour. You can see the rain right up in front of you off in the distance. It is pitch black in the sky right now. Almost looks a little white with all this rain falling, but tarp is coming on the field, so we're going to have a rain delay here at PeoplesBank Park, something that we've grown accustomed to and have seen a lot of lately. But one pitch, the new pitcher Shane Watson into the game throws, and they call for the tarp. Brian DeBrouwer said that was enough, and the field, already looking a little bit soaked, is going to be covered with the tarp. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning, 1 out and a 1-0 count on Wellington Dotel. Telvin Nash just hit a 2-run home run over the right field wall, his second homer of the game. He's 3 for 3 with 2 2-run homers, a double, 3 runs scored, and a couple standing ovations here in his return to PeoplesBank Park. And it just continues to pour. You can probably hear the rain if you can hear our crowd mic on the radio. Daryl, I'll welcome you back into the broadcast. I hope you enjoyed your dinner, but yeah, this is not enjoyable.
No, this stinks. Here we are again. And this, I mean, this is up there with some of the hardest rain we've seen all year right now. This is sheets. It came down steadily, and we were able to play through it for a couple of hitters. Nash hitting that belt through the raindrops, but you know, then when Dotel almost gets hit in the head, they kind of abandoned the idea of trying to get 5 innings in, and it was a good decision. I know the tarp crew right now is dealing with some awful conditions to get that tarp on the field. They got absolutely blasted with that rain right now, but they did a great job as always. But they waited as long as they could. I don't think Brian DeBrouwer, he doesn't have a crystal ball. He couldn't have known that it was going to completely dump about 10 seconds after he called for the tarp, but that's exactly what happened. And now, like, are Nash's stats going to count, or are we going to be able to play again tonight? I don't know.
Right, it's one of those situations where you hope this game can resume. It's not official. It would have been official had the final 2 outs of this inning been recorded, but we're in the bottom of the fifth with 1 out. Wellington Dotel was up. First pitch that reliever Shane Watson threw to Dotel was a fastball up and in that slipped, and that was a little bit of an indication that they needed to bring the tarp out and stop play. But the pitching change was made after Telvin Nash hit the 2-run homer. I'll do a little bit of a recap before we probably send it back to NBC Sports, or at least an extended break. 6 runs in the first inning for the Blue Crabs. They got all those 6 runs against Dominic Severino. He lasted just 2/3 of an inning before Michael Click came in relief. Revs got 2 in the bottom of the first. Nash hit a 2-run shot to left in his first AB back with the team. Solo homer for Frank Martinez in the top of the second made it 7-2 Blue Crabs. No more scoring until the bottom of the fourth when the Revs added 2 runs. Luis Cruz RBI single and a Jose Cuevas RBI single, and then 2 more runs just came in to score for the Revs on the Nash 2-run shot to right. So it's a 7-6 lead for the Blue Crabs right now with 1 out in the bottom of inning number 5. 7 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Crabs. 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Revs. It continues to pour here in York. The good news is it's not pouring right now as hard as it was maybe 30 seconds ago. So in a sense it has slowed down a bit, but it is just one big puddle out on the field. And Daryl, this is unfortunate because of the momentum that the Revs had, because of what Nash was doing, because of what Michael Click was doing on the mound in relief of Severino. Struck out 7 batters, had retired 12 in a row. 4 straight 1-2-3 innings. You would hate to see that wiped away.
Yeah, and you know, Nash's stats, you'd hate to see that wiped away. The most important thing, though, for the team at this point is to try to get wins. And when they were down 7-2, it was a lot easier to say, well, where's the rain? Let's maybe get a restart in this thing. But now, I mean, I think down a run in the 5th inning, you want Talbin's stats from tonight to count. You want Michael Click's to count. And I think you would certainly take your chances at finishing this comeback down only 1 with, you know, pretty much half the game to go. And from what I've heard, you know, secondhand from folks that were watching Radar, is that it's expected to be raining heavily for about an hour. I don't know if that's, you know, to be taken as gospel as far as the forecast goes tonight, but it's always a tricky situation. And tonight, at least from a fan standpoint, it was tricky. Like, what do you hope for? Now I think that they're within 1 run. I think you absolutely want to continue this game. And you're going to be in Southern Maryland's bullpen. Obviously, the Revs were in theirs in the 1st inning, but I did take notice the Blue Crabs only had 6 relievers listed on their lineup card tonight, so it's not the deepest group. And like you said, you've got momentum, and I think some of that would still exist even if there is a long delay, because you know, the Blue Crabs kind of in this game have everything to lose. They're the team that was up 6 and then 5 for a couple of innings, and you know, I think even if we have to wait a long time, I think some of that momentum still stays with York. So here's hoping to being able to continue this tonight and not seeing all of this go up in smoke.
Well, we are in a rain delay. 7-6 the Blue Crabs lead, but the Revs have scored 4 unanswered. It was 7-2 after just 2 innings, but the Revs have gotten 4 back. Storyline tonight is 1, Michael Click in relief of Severino has been fantastic. 2, probably the bigger one, Talvin Nash has hit 2 home runs. He's 3 for 3 in his return to York, his season debut. But right now it's pouring. And Daryl, I guess if you can go over for the listeners at home, what is the scenario with this game being either suspended or just wiped clean and all that?
Well, I mean, it's not official, so if they can't resume tonight, I mean, official with the home team down is there has to be 3 outs made to end this 5th inning. But that is not the case. So if you can't play tonight, by the book, it would start over completely and all of this would be wiped out. Then again, we had a situation last year when Lancaster was here and they made the case that due to a misjudgment of waiting too long on the umpire's part to call for the tarp, a game that should have been able to be resumed was unable to be resumed, and both teams agreed to suspend it and resume it a couple of days later. That was a very strange set of circumstances, one that I've never been a part of before. The only I guess comparison would be, you know, nowadays, because of Game 5 of the 2008 World Series, it's now written in that playoff games, even if it's suspended before 5 innings, will be resumed. That's the exception. That's not the case in regular season play at the big league level. So, you know, by the book, this thing would be a start over if we can't resume tonight, and we've gotten this far. I really hope we can.
It would be unfortunate, I think, mainly for Telvin and Michael's sake. I mean, what they've done, Telvin with the bat, click on the mound, but this is an unfortunate situation, so it looks like it's going to be a lengthy rain delay. I think that goes without saying. It's kind of a regular thing here nowadays. Yeah. Lengthy rain delays, puddles on the field.
Why not?
But I mean, they did a heck of a job getting the tarp out there quickly when it was called for. But right now, 7-6 lead for the Blue Crabs, bottom 5. The Revs have scored 4 unanswered, though. Each team with 8 hits. Neither starter was effective, so it's a bullpen game if and when this thing resumes tonight. So we'll send it back to NBC Sports, and we'll provide some updates, hopefully on Twitter if we can. If not, hopefully we're going to be back on air at some point soon. If this game is called for the night, we will be back on air to tell you that it is called for the night. But for the time being, we'll send it back to NBC Sports. So keep checking back to see if we'll be back on air, and hopefully we'll play this thing tonight. Blue Crabs lead at 7-6, but the Revs with the momentum. We'll send it back to the studio now.